did it again. Oh no. Yamaha Electone HX-1 with the big manuals for free. How does he do it? I don't know. But let's take a gander once I've wiped all this sweat off my face. Oh my god. Right. Well, off I go. Time to pick up a free HX-1. This is kind of weird. Okay, well, I'll to somehow get this out on my own. Help. Never again, he says. Okay, so it's very awkwardly parked in the living room right now, including the awkward amps we have, because yeah, I don't have space in my office currently. It's a bit of a mess there, so we'll be temporarily in the living room again, just like the Elka. Just like the Elka, I got this for free, but it does mean it has issues. The guy giving this to me said that the lead sounds and the rhythm sounds have issues. They don't work. And yes, I did get lucky. I got another RAM pack. This time the 32 kilobytes. So I have the 8 and 32 now. So that's pretty cool. Right, I'm going to need to join these two together. It's pretty cool that this organ is so extremely modular. So this connects to this, which does mean I need to lift it up a little bit. So that's going to be extremely hard with how heavy these things are. Well, I guess some plastic bottles works. That's pretty much the perfect height. I need a camera stand adapter for the camera, ideally. But here we go. Yay! Now I need to get it on there. Okay, screws are in place. Free over here. And on the other side, there's free over here. Now I also will connect these cables. These chunky connectors. And they just click in place too. You can get it on. And then there's little tabs on the sides that you press to pull it out again. It's very convenient. And see if this thing works without the pedals. Moment of truth. We have some lights. So this bar is the velocity. Press softly, press hard. It's so cool that it has a visual representation. You can also turn it on and off. Okay, so the expression pedal is of course full on. That is good, because it also can control the volume, so it should mean that the volume is maxed out. Pretty impossible to read, so that LCD screen needs replacement with a modern one, modern bright blue white one. Okay, so the I/O is over here, so I'll have to shift this entire thing, otherwise I can't plug anything in. That's MIDI, and there we have the inputs and outputs. Okay, for those who were hoping to get a nice sound demo, you'll have to wait and contend with little Fender amp again, just like with the Elka. But okay, we have some live. Let's see here. So upper, lower keyboard, pedals. Well, we don't have pedals at the moment, so can turn it up. Attack is not very sensitive. Cool. That works. Might be that the AWM actually does not work. I'm pretty sure the guy said the lead wasn't working, but... That is the lead sound. Lower? Well, it's the AWM presets that's not working. That's interesting. Because when he showed me, there was no lead sound. When he turned on the lead, there was no sound. I wonder if he used the wrong output. Okay, so I was correct. The lead sounds do not work if you use the other output, except if you use the dedicated lead output, because on the second set of outputs the lead sound is not output. That is actually normal, I read that in the manual. So the leads are actually fine, I think. Pitch point modulation also works, by the way. So, okay, so the lead also works with the effects, but I noticed something in the percussion. So I have this beautiful electric piano. If I turn the effects off, no dice, completely dead. Turning any effect on, works fine. Also the phaser sounds pretty cool on the electric piano. So the direct output of the AWM and percussive is dysfunctional. Now for orchestra, same dice. Okay. For the combi. Yeah, so okay, the effects do work. It's a bit iffy turning them on and off, but it's probably a specific way you have to do it. And I'm still exploring this thing, so okay. There are no effects on. Now I now have the amp attached to the right output instead of just the left, and oh, wait a minute. Yeah, everything works fine. So on the right output, everything works. And that has been fixed too. I did a factory reset. Let me stop this. You hold the brake button over here and then turn it on. And you hold that brake button for a few seconds afterwards. And then it's factory reset. So I think we're dealing with memory corruption here. Because, yeah, things were weird. And now they're not. Still would like to configure the velocity is a little bit better now, but hey, I just wanted to see if the factory reset that fixed the rhythms also fix the outputs. And yes, that's without effects. Au revoir. So everything works on the left output now too. So yeah, we just had some corrupt memories in this thing. Okay, so there's two 5x85 screws on the sides that you need to loosen. Not entirely, just until the top thing comes loose. And now it should open up, so I'm gonna try that. Yes. Oh my god. Big chunky. That's a floppy drive connector. Okay, to get this cover off, first remove 7 screws, 5 here and 2 here. And then remove the screws of this holder that keeps this the front panel in place. Not the front panel assembly, but the front panel itself that's connected to this. So you kind of need to get that out of the way. You can also just put some duct tape on this, because it just folds open. So you don't need to remove those bar clamps. Anyways, there's the money shot. We got the analog board here with all the output relays. You can hear them all going clicky-clack individually when you turn this thing on. And here are the voice boards. So this is where all the magic happens. Now you may think, should there be a power supply in this somewhere? Preferably here. Nope. That is in the keyboard section. So that you have to open this up separately if you want to work on the power supply. Which is something I need to do. So we'll take a look inside this too. So one of these will be all the digital voices, one of them will be the rhythms, one of them will be the digital mixer and the DACs, which outputs to this analog board, and one of them will be basically the computer that controls everything. Okay, so undo the 2 screws, slide the board to the left, it will be a little bit rough, and then up, and then it goes out. And yeah, this is the mix board actually. So this is where all the digital mixing happens. All the effects, yep. These are the effects units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's a 6th one somewhere else, I believe. And there's a bunch of memory, of course, for the effects units. I think these were the mix chips. And you see a bunch of analog stuff here, and I'm gonna guess these are the free DACs. Yeah, those are definitely DACs. And that then goes, I think that this is all the analog output channels. You can see there's a lot, because every single channel of every single voice is processed separately, both in the digital realm as in the analog realm. It's all separate, all full stereo. So it's actually quite complex, all the routing in here. 86, so these smaller ones. The Yamaha chips never have proper date codes. But yeah, on these chips, it's a lot of around the 7th to 9th month of 1986. Oh, this thing is actually a lot older than I thought it would be. At least the chips are. So this thing was sold in 1993, if the guy that gifted this to me was correct. So, but it may actually have been manufactured during the release period of this organ, which I believe was in 1987. So, yeah. So I didn't do anything wrong, but I just discovered an vintage electronics enthusiast favorite thing.
That do be a battery.
Looks alright actually.
I don't think I see a single smidge.
I love having an action camera. I can actually put it inside the thing. But that's definitely something that needs attention at some point. I did notice a bit of an unfortunate thing. There's a big crack here. And there's also one on the other side here. And there is a very tiny one over here. This is ever so slightly bent. It's all bit, so I think this has had a big wallop at some point. Now everything works perfectly fine, so, and this does seem to be like it's had some gluing going on or something. So I'm not gonna do anything about it, but it is a little bit of a pity that it's so damaged there. Because other than that, this thing is it's pretty mint. Okay, if I remember correctly, should be these screws. One here, one over here. Also on the other side. And these the screws with the big square under them. Those always loosens the keyboard on my HX-6, and I think it's the same for this. Also, this is wood on the other side. That's interesting. Okay, so also these screws. There's one here, and there's one over there. Oh, I'm upside down right now. So, oh, look, it's the label. So, HX-1, the fancy keyboard. There's also a screw on the side here. Basically anything with a ring on it. Oh, there it goes, somewhere over the carpet. Remove the tone generator again. I think I do. Oh no. And there we go. As with all Yamaha organs, it folds right open like a car hood. And you can get to everything. I love this, it's so serviceable. Oh god, that looks like some IC that never should break, ever. To be honest, most of the chips in this organ should never break, because they're all pretty unique. Yeah, it even has the offset and gain adjustment for the aftertouch. That's good, because I found the aftertouch to be not very sensitive, which is what usually happens to the aftertouch strips in old keyboards. That's a weird looking transformer. Some sort of plastic around it. Oh, that's these connections. So this connector 5 is the analog plus minus 15 volts and ground, and it also has a minus 20 volts that goes to the relays for controlling the muting circuit. So if you have an issue with the muting circuit, definitely check if the minus 20 volt is working. Then I believe we also have a digital plus and minus 15, and that goes off to the tone generator mainly. So this entire thing is just to supply all the power rails for the digital circuitry. I don't even know what this is. PSW. I think it has something to do with the keyboard. Well, I'm just gonna do some measurements. Tone generator should be connected for that. Do we have a proper load? Okay. So we have 14.7 plus minus. The minus 20 was actually minus 12, but I think that may be because the circuit is active. The muting circuit works perfectly fine, so I don't think that's an issue. The digital is also plus minus 14.8, so it's not exactly 15 volts, but this does run a lot of circuitry, so I think it's probably fine. A little bit under spec, but I don't see any way to adjust it. So now this is the plus 5 volts. The 5 volt is absolutely perfect on spec. So At least all the digital stuff is absolutely perfect. So I'm happy with that. Now before I close this up again, let's take a look at the key contacts, because these are very different. So these are actually like metal strips that act as the contacts. And it looks actually pretty complicated. There's like a little metal tab here, and it touches a metal strip on the top side, and when you press a key, it switches to the metal strip on the bottom side, probably for velocity sensing. So that's so it's a break-make velocity sensing circuit instead of the make velocity sensing circuit you find in the HS6, for example, or the HS series. So this is an entirely different scheme. Maybe I should adjust the aftertouch, give it a little bit more gain. Well, that's a good idea actually. Then I'll close it up. And then, well, I guess then I'll demo some sounds. So literally just finished the last screws, and then I realized I forgot about this button light not working. But that's okay.